It's August 26, 1990. Jazz party in the 6th annual here in Minnesota at the City Center Marriott. And I'm sitting opposite Bucky Pizzarelli, and it's good to see you and hear you in person.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I haven't been here in a long time, but I finally made it, and I'm enjoying myself immensely.
Well, I'm sure the geography and the whole skyline has changed, but when were you last here? With Vaughn Monroe?
Monroe, that's right. I'm not sure what theater it was, maybe the Orpheum or something. Was it? Could have been? Sure. Could it have been? Yeah.
Well, Bucky, there's a lot of water over the dam, but, just to my right and your left is one of the legendary figures, Red Norvo, and I know you, about 10 years ago, you did some remarkable sessions with him, and I'm sure you've been associated.
Yes, Red, I was playing at the Pierre Hotel with a trio, just bass drums, bass guitar, and piano. And Red was in town, so we got him into the studio, record with us. We just got in there and started playing tunes, and that's the way it turned out.
There are some, on this weekend, some young players, but Red stands for something that you stand for,
Yeah, but quality.
And looking at some of the young lions who are on the stand with you this weekend, what have you discovered among these young players?
Yeah, well, I'm enjoying it immensely, especially Ruben and Eric.
And you're speaking of Eric Schneider and the Woodwinds and Ruben Ristrom, another guitarist.
Right.
And of course, Ruben is based here in Minneapolis. And let's see, do you both play the same type of instrument? I'm not quite sure.
Well, mine is a little different. Mine has got an extra string on it, and every guitar player plays differently. I think they all have their own way of doing it, and I certainly enjoy what Ruben has been doing all week.
Well, Bucky, looking back and just examining influences and what you were first hearing when you were growing up and getting involved in this business, what did you hear in the field of guitar that impressed you?
Well, I heard my uncles play, and that's what I got they showed me one chord, and when I heard the sound that I produced, I said that's what I want to play, because I played the same chord for about 3 years. and sooner or later, I was only 9 at the time, and I got serious about it and started studying it with them, and then they turned me on to Charlie Christian and George Van Eps and all the different kinds of styles, and even George Barnes, who was from Chicago at the time, was broadcast. I think he was about 15 or 16, playing some great stuff, and it all stayed in my mind, and I just sort of picked out something that I wanted to do, and that's what I did. Playing guitar, rhythm guitar, and all kinds of things. I love the way Charlie Christian played. And I love George Van Eps. It was entirely two different styles. And I love Segovia and Julian Bream, and of course everything. And George Barnes was one of my favorites.
As we look at all those are really distinct signature kind of voices for the guitar.
Oh, yeah, well, what makes it unique was when you heard any of them play one note or one chord, you knew who it was, and that's why they were great.
How would you describe the impact of Charlie Christian on the guitar?
Well, he made it, before I heard Charlie, all the guitar was doing was playing rhythm or playing chords to songs. And I guess the way I learned how to play the guitar, I knew all the chords to all the tunes without knowing the melody. But that's all, we had no amplifiers, you see. So all the guitar did was strum, and and then there was an act of doing that. If you heard Freddie Green and those Alan Roos, they made an art out of just playing. Have a beautiful stroke, playing the rhythm section.
They were really the pulse of the band.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and they weren't heard or really appreciated by the audience more. But if you paid attention closely, they were doing some slick stuff.
And if you look at George Barnes and his impact on the development of the guitar, how would you describe that?
Well, just like Charlie, and they brought the melody to the instrument, you see. And in Charlie's case, he was playing it like Lester Young was playing the tenor saxophone, and George Barnes was really playing it like a great trumpet player, any great trumpet player, you know. That's the attack he had. He said he never played the guitar. He always just say he played trumpet.
How would you describe your style?
I don't know. I'm a conglomeration of, or a composite of a lot of different guys, because I like them all. I love them all. I love the chordal way of playing. I love the unamplified guitar. I love the electric guitar. I like Les Paul, and I love the pioneers, you know, and I love the new guys. I love Pat Metheny. I saw him in person, and I think he's marvelous.
And certainly there was a personality from overseas, from France, that Django Reinhardt.
Right. We never got the Django. There's another.
That's another essay.
That's right. Yeah, I missed him. I was in the service during the war, and I just missed him. But I did get to play with his partner. I made a few albums with Stefan Grappelli, and that was enjoyable.
Well, there's certainly a great spirit among the players of the strings.
Yeah, they were. Stefan is still playing. I was in Europe with Clark Terry, and he was on the same bill. I went out and played with him at the end of the show. I went out on stage with him, and we just played whatever we felt like. That's what makes it nice about me. Same as here, you know, at this festival. We all get up on the stage where half of us don't know each other, you know, the new guys and the old guys, and we get up and play the common ground, you know, the great standard songs, which we value. I do anyway. All Duke stuff, and Harold Arlen, and Johnny Mercer. And there's no music like that. That's it. It'll be around for 100 years.
Bucky Pizzarelli, thank you very much for taking time
Thank you.
to briefly describe and bring into perspective the guitar, your art.
Thank you very much. Thank you.